Ultimately, leaving care means they're going to be an adult and we're not going to be involved anymore and we have to step away. So trying to empower that young person in spite of their disability to try and really take control and ownership of their own life and make sure they're supported enough that they can do it.
Hi, I'm Michael and I'm a double leg amputee. Not that it's always obvious. I've been in care since I was 10 years old and I've been seeing my caseworker Alison since I was 15. I'm nearly 19 years old now and I still see her every now and then.
Michael's case was challenging for me as it was the first time I worked with someone who had disability. There was so much more involved than I thought. Thankfully, we got along really well, and when it came to leaving care planning, he was able to communicate precisely where he wanted to live and work. But getting his needs met on a practical level was not a simple task. It took from when he turned 16 to pull off a decent leaving care plan.
My disability can sometimes be invisible, especially when I have my prosthetics covered. But when you really look at what's involved, I've got constant appointments for physical therapy, my house needs special fittings, I've got a medical history as long as a phone book, and then of course there's all the forms that come with everything.
Yes, his leaving care process was very challenging. There were so many different organisations to contact and coordinate, especially when trying to support his additional needs. It was a very challenging period for both of us.
There was a while when nothing seemed to work out. Looked like I was going to get a place close to my work, my drama classes, my cousin and stuff. I was so pumped. But when that fell through, the only option was a place like an hour away. I was devastated. Without Alison supporting me through transition out of care, I probably would have given up.
Finding accommodation for him was really tricky. I could see that these constant changes and disappointments were unsettling for him. So I started to phrase everything like it was a maybe, even if it looked promising. Sometimes the system is not reliable, despite everyone's best intentions.
And then I've been told that I'm not eligible.
It's all a bit overwhelming.
You know.
I'm so glad I had a good understanding of what he needed, so I could go into bat for him. Especially housing that met his physical needs and close to his local community so he wouldn't be so isolated.
When I found out I had to move away from my world, that was a really dark time for me. I moved into a share place, but my housemates were a bit full on. I couldn't get to my friends easily. I lost my job. I couldn't visit the theatre. Honestly, I just wanted to give up. And it reminded me of how hard times were when I was younger. I was just so unhappy there. And I was calling Alison a lot to help me get through it. And after a few months, she helped me find another option.
I was determined not to let him fall through the cracks in the system. I'm not exaggerating when I say I would have made thousands of phone calls during that leaving care period. I was that annoying person on the phone, checking in, and checking in. Trying to find housing is so difficult. Where are these young people meant to go? Finally, we found a private rental with mobility fittings installed that Michael could share with his cousin. Then, when we contacted his previous acting teacher for a rental reference, she suggested we get him on a work experience program at the theatre. Wow, Michael just changed after that. You could tell he felt part of something bigger, something stable.
I've been working part-time here for almost a year now. It's kind of become my happy place. Soon they're going to train me up as a front of house manager, so I'm really excited for that. When you've had a long history moving all the time, working in the same place and becoming part of the team has really built up my confidence and self-esteem. It probably sounds corny, but it was pretty cool to see Alison believe in me. I wouldn't be where I am today without her.
He's got his independence, which is fabulous, He wants to get a license and he's got a part-time job and they're big things.